and today I am interviewing Charlotte Haye. Charlotte's a blogger. We're going to talk about blogging today because I think people forget about blogging because blogs are over 20 years old when people started doing effectively writing journals. That's how it all started, and then I guess with WordPress probably were the first to really expand it and to make it accessible for people to write online and post things online. So blogging is all about content. Is content important?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you think about it, every single website you go onto, every single book you pick up, everything you look at is content. People think of content as this very narrow thing, but actually everything is content. Absolutely everything. So of course content's important. It's the most important thing you can do, and putting out content should be a huge part of your marketing.
Yeah, and it needs to captivate your audience though.
Yes.
So somebody wrote 3 years ago, and it really annoyed me. Wrote an article called "Oh, content is king," and I'm like, but surely content's always been king, especially online, because that's where people go for information. Remember, people use the internet for information. So having a blog that provides them with information, you're going to attract the audience that you're targeting if you've got the right blog. But some people aren't very good at blogging, and this is where I guess your services come in. So what, you started life as a copywriter?
Yeah, I started out when I was a little girl wanting to be a writer, and that was all I ever wanted to be. And when I got to kind of picking my options for university, I realised, actually, unless I'm the next J.K. Rowling, I'm probably not going to be able to make a living just writing books.
No.
So I went to university to learn to be a copywriter. I stayed on and did a master's in children's writing, and I learned more about writing for businesses in that course than I did in any other business writing course that I've been on. Did a bit of freelance work and kind of fell into it really, and it satisfies all the kind of needs I have in a job, and it keeps me creative.
I was going to say, because I always think, now I'm quite creative as well, so I'm the type of person who would love doing stuff like this, obviously the interviewing, and I do love writing, but I have that little bit of dyslexia that makes my writing where I add extra words that really don't need to be there. So for me, I need to wait a day, go back and read it again through, read it aloud. And I don't tend to pass it to people, but I always get people coming back going, "Karen, you've got a spelling mistake here."
Yeah.
I've got a friend who's always doing that to me now, and she does stuff on LinkedIn. So whenever I tend to post to LinkedIn before I actually put it as a blog.
Yeah.
For some unknown reason, I don't know why I do that.
If that's the way it works for you, then that works. Yeah. It's not just you with the spelling mistakes and seeing things. The way the human mind works is once you've sat and written something, if you then sit and reread it, your eyes and your brain aren't reading the words that are physically on the page. Yeah. They're actually reading what you think you've written. Yeah. So you don't notice that you've put an extra "and" in or an extra 3 T's in a word. It just doesn't register. And that's why having someone else, even if it's just to skim it for spelling mistakes, is absolutely invaluable. No, I still do it. I work with my husband, and my husband is my proofreader, and he picks up daft little errors I make when it's my first blog of the morning and I've not warmed up yet. So it's important to always have someone else. Yeah, especially
if you're writing a blog for somebody.
Yes.
Is it important as a blogger to be able to write in as if you are the actual business owner who's asked you to write for them? Do you have to get to know that person and their style?
Yes. So my first initial meetings with clients aren't always necessarily about what do you want me to talk about. It's how do you want me to sound? Right. What impression are you trying to give to your clients? Do you want to be very serious and stilted? Do you want to be more fun? Do you want to be quirky and sarcastic? What voice does your business have? And my first kind of few blogs for them is testing the water and figuring out if I've got it right.
So after you've spoken to them anyway, you probably understand how they come across and everything, and probably be able to mimic that.
Yeah.
Because I think it's quite important, because I think if I used you as a blogger, because let's face it, if you're going to use, I know where my strengths are, okay? I hate paperwork. I like writing blogs, but I don't always have the ideas. So I would probably come to you and use you for ideas, and as you said, when we've chatted before, you'll set up a 6-month plan of blogs and articles that could be sent out. And I wouldn't even think of doing that. I tend to do it on the fly. So and you know, even though you may be watching this video at the end of 2017 and whatever, you know, if you're at the beginning of the year, use that holiday period to think about what you want to do for next year and start planning. And use a blogger. You know, if you're not that good, know where your strengths are. Don't waste time on doing it. Just get someone in to do it for you, because content, as we said, is king. The more you've got your article, your blog out there, because there's different forums you can put it on. It's not just the blog.
Yep. So your blog will kind of start life on your website, which is great. It's good for SEO. It's good for getting people to your site. But unless people are already on your site or searching for that particular thing, they might not find it. So putting it on platforms like LinkedIn, on your company page or personal page, putting it out on Twitter, or putting it on kind of networking forums that have a blogging section, or there are just blogging forums that are a web page dedicated.
I didn't know about that. I had a little look this morning. I went, oh my God, there's blogging forums. I didn't know about that.
It's just a page that's dedicated to people to come and share their articles, and you get ones for specialist industries. There is a site that is totally dedicated to IT articles and nothing else. So if you want to know about IT, go to that blogging site. I cannot remember the name off the top of my head.
That's fine.
But if you go to that site, you will find tens of thousands of articles on any part of IT you like. They're out there. It's just a case of finding them and making sure you're putting your content on there.
So would this be able to get you a little bit higher up in the search engines?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Google kind of ranks all the backlinks to your blogs, but it also kind of keeps an eye on where things are. And the more you put out there, the more there is to find, the more backlinks there are to push to your site. So of course you're going to keep going up and up the rankings because you've got fresh content on your site, which Google absolutely loves.
Fresh stuff,
so it means that if you're publishing a blog twice a month, you are going to be head and shoulders above the person who hasn't updated anything on their site since 2003, and it'll just keep going up the more and more you publish. Well, Google doesn't even know if they're in business at that stage because they've not updated anything, and they're going to prioritise the ones that are giving them content.
There's about 1 billion websites, web pages out there, and but they reckon is that it's much lower than that because there's so many people who've bought domain names, and there are so many businesses who will have a website but they are inactive effectively because they've not been updated. What else was I going to say? I heard of multi-bloggers, as in multi-authors. What's all that about? Is that more than 2 people writing a blog?
So
getting their heads together.
It's like if you get 2 writers who want to write a book together. You get lots of co-authors, and it's exactly the same thing. So sometimes it'll be one blogger writes one post, the other writes another, and that'll be your 2 posts for the month or whatever. But sometimes it'll be 2 bloggers who are sitting in a room trying to figure out the best way to put across your message. Because sometimes sitting on your own in a room gets a bit... You get cabin fever and you don't always get your best ideas, whereas actually sitting and talking to another human being... This is where you would come in. So effectively, you sort of collaborate on blogs with people because you help them and inspire them, which is what you need sometimes, just somebody to... Because being a business owner, you're quite often on your own and quite isolated, and I think it's really good to again, just, you know, if you're not very good at blogging, you're not very good at ideas, and just contact, you know, a blogger local to you and see if they can help, you know, because that's what they do. Give a blogger a chance, you know, let them help you, because it's content is king. Videos is great, vlogging is the other thing, so you can turn a blog into a video. So you could write a blog for somebody, and then they could just rehearse it and then talk about it, and suddenly you've got a vlog, you know, a video blog for people. And sometimes that works better for people who aren't as confident writing everything down and putting kind of the written word into the world. Just sitting and talking to what is effectively just a camera is more comfortable. And that's still getting your content out there, but it's in a way you are comfortable with.
Is it the same way as if you could you then turn that into a podcast?
Yeah, absolutely.
See how many different ways we've thought about to help you with your blog and get your content out there. It's been fascinating talking to you.
Thank you very, very much, Charlotte Haye.